There is an ocean of everything you want: success, power, and the most satisfying relationships. It's all available and waiting for you. This is The Zone of Action with your host, Gerald Action Jackson.
Today's podcast is about the 2% mindset, turning access into opportunity. The 2% mindset, turning access into opportunity, helping others win. The quiet power behind real success. We are living in one of the most fascinating times in human history. Think about it for a moment. Almost everything you could possibly want is right at your fingertips. Knowledge, education, mentors, tools, platforms, audiences, opportunities, and even inspiration are more accessible now than ever before. With a smartphone and an internet connection, you can learn almost any skill, connect with people across the globe, and build something meaningful from scratch. And yet, despite all of this access, only a very small percentage of people truly take advantage of it. That reality used to bother me. I would ask myself, how can so much opportunity exist while so many people feel stuck, frustrated, or unfulfilled? Over time, I realized the issue is rarely access. The issue is mindset. We live in an era where it is easy to believe that success should be fast, visible, and effortless. Social media has amplified that belief. Scroll for a few minutes and you will see people announcing wins, celebrating milestones, showcasing lifestyles, and presenting perfectly polished moments. I call these highlight reels because that is exactly what they are. You are seeing the end result, not the process. You are seeing what someone wants you to see, not necessarily what they endured to get there. The danger comes when people compare their real life, complete with doubts, delays, and discipline, to someone else's highlight reel. That comparison often leads to discouragement, impatience, or worse, inaction. People start believing that success is something reserved for other people. People who are luckier, more connected, more talented, or more confident. None of that is true. What most people do not see is the quiet work, the early mornings, the late nights, the mistakes, the moments of uncertainty, the times when progress felt invisible. Success is rarely loud while it is being built. It becomes loud once it is finished. One thing that has always brought me genuine joy is watching my comrades, colleagues, and friends succeed in worthwhile endeavors. I am not threatened by someone else's growth. I am inspired by it. When I see someone elevate, it reminds me of what is possible. Success is not a limited resource. There is more than enough room for all of us to win. I have always believed that people who celebrate others tend to go further in life than those who compete out of fear. A scarcity mindset tells you that someone else's success somehow diminishes your own. An abundance mindset understands that success multiplies when it is shared, supported, and encouraged. There is a powerful story that illustrates this idea perfectly. The legendary singer Roberta Flack once worked closely with a background singer who stood out for all the right reasons. He was extremely talented, but more importantly, he was dependable. He was hardworking. He cared deeply about his craft. He showed up prepared. He took the work seriously, even when no one was watching. She recognized something special in him long before the world did. She told him that he was destined to be a star. Not in a casual way, but in a way that came from observation and belief. She helped him form his first group. That group had modest success, including a single hit that happened to be a Christmas song. It was not the breakthrough moment people dream of, but it was progress. Later, he joined another group as a co-headliner. Again, progress, but still not the destination. In the midst of all of that, he took a risk on himself. He released a solo album. That singer went on to become Luther Vandross. What stands out to me about that story is not just the outcome, but the journey. He did not skip steps. He did not arrive overnight. He was prepared when opportunity came because he had already put in the work. He also benefited from someone who believed in him and was willing to help him grow. That is how success often works. Someone opens a door, but you still have to walk through it. Someone may recognize your potential, but you still have to do the work to fulfill it. Years ago, I read something that has stayed with me ever since. Zig Ziglar once said, "You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want." And that statement is simple, but it is profound. Most people approach life asking, "What can I get?" The top performers, the ones who seem to move with purpose and momentum, ask a different question. They ask, "How can I help?" When you focus on adding value, supporting others, and contributing in meaningful ways, opportunities begin to find you. Relationships deepen, trust builds, doors open naturally. Helping others does not mean neglecting your own goals. It means understanding that your success is often connected to the success of those around you. When you lift others, you are not lowering yourself. You are strengthening the environment you are operating in. Unfortunately, this way of thinking has only penetrated a small percentage of the population, roughly 2% by most estimates. But that 2% holds an incredible amount of influence, leadership, and impact. They are the ones who think long term. They understand that discipline beats motivation. They recognize that consistency matters more than hype. They know that growth requires patience. The 2% are not necessarily the loudest people in the room. They are often the most focused. They do not chase every trend. They do not get distracted by every opinion. They understand that clarity and commitment are powerful advantages. One of the biggest differences between the 2% and everyone else is how they respond to access. Everyone has access. Few take action. Many people consume information endlessly, but never apply it. They listen to podcasts, read books, watch videos, and scroll endlessly, but they do not execute consistently. The 2% consume information with intention. They learn, apply, evaluate, and adjust. They understand that progress comes from doing, not just knowing. Another major difference is how they view time. Most people underestimate what they can accomplish in a year and overestimate what they can do in a week. The 2% play the long game. They understand that small actions repeated daily compound into massive results over time. They also understand that setbacks are part of the process. Failure does not define them. It refines them. They learn from mistakes instead of hiding from them. They do not quit when things get uncomfortable. They adjust and keep moving forward. One of the most freeing realizations you can have is understanding that you do not need permission to pursue the life you want. You do not need to wait until everything is perfect. You do not need universal approval. You need clarity, commitment, and courage. Letting go of self-imposed limitations is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. Many limits exist only in our minds. They are stories we have repeated to ourselves over time until they felt like facts. Challenging those stories opens the door to growth. Stop comparing your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. Stop assuming you are behind because your path looks different. There is no universal timeline for success. There is only your timeline. If you focus on helping others, sharpening your skills, and showing up consistently, momentum will follow. Opportunities tend to appear when preparation meets persistence. This mindset shift is not about ego. It is about service. It is about contribution. It is about becoming someone who adds value wherever they go. When you approach life this way, success becomes a byproduct, not the sole objective. I encourage you to celebrate others openly. Learn from people who are doing well. Ask questions, build relationships, support worthwhile endeavors. When you do, you align yourself with growth. The world does not need more noise. It needs more people willing to do the work quietly and consistently. It needs more people willing to lift others while building themselves. This is the difference between spectators and participants. Spectators comment on the highlight reels. Participants build their own story, one disciplined step at a time. If this way of thinking resonates with you, if you believe in abundance over scarcity, service over ego, and progress over perfection, then you already belong to a powerful group. Welcome to the 2% Club. The door is open. The opportunity is real. The work is yours. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter, JEROLDJAX. On Facebook, Gerald Action Jackson and Zone of Action. Check out the website, GeraldJackson.com. Happiness starts with you, not with your relationship, not with your job, not with your money, but with you in the zone of action.